Uranium friends, gonna be a little bit longer of a video today. Got a lot to cover. We will start on the ETF. So URA, firstly. Okay, so URA has a daily trend change with no follow through. Okay, so just remember there's a daily trend change here too, right? Big spike up to the 50-day, gave it all back. But right now, daily trend change has confirmed. Why? Low, high, higher low, higher high. Now we're looking for follow through. So really the big number for us now is 29.46. We want to get above that and hold above it because when you look at the weekly, that is the defining of the top of the weekly range. Okay, I'm hoping everybody can see that. I don't know. I'm going to just try to be quick. So yeah, we're still fighting the weekly 12 EMA. It finally closed above, but just above. Okay. So that's what we're looking for. But we do have a daily trend change. So aggressive or patient, however you want to call it, this is your new line in the sand to say that we're holding this new daily trend change, which is 27.31. That is the number. So URA, daily trend change, confirmed, no follow through. Probably going to be the same thing with all of them, but let's just look. URNM, daily trend change confirmed, follow through. Okay, this is nice follow through, uptick in volume, well above the 12 EMA, through the 12 EMA, the URNM, right? Did I say URNJ? Whatever. Contention with the 50-day, the 50 EMA here. So, but the same deal on the weekly, right? So now some levels have really become key for us, right? In order for us to hold, let me get this thing over here. We want to hold this daily higher low. Okay. So URNM, just like URA, daily trend change, URNM, stronger confirmation. Makes a little bit of sense, right? Some retail guys have probably been buying. Weekly 12 EMA, still the bone of contention. So the range is really starting to, if you want to look at the weekly range, it's going to be this, okay? That's your weekly range, 44.91. All right. But this is the key level right now because 46.80, that will say the daily trend change is holding because that is the higher low. All right. URNJ, I posted this up on Twitter today. I did take a position on the daily trend change also, and actually took it before it made this full-fledged break. So there's a lot of really nice follow through here. URNJ, looks like URNJ took out. No, it didn't. It still has to deal with this. But it did. Let me just see something here on the. Yeah, it's still fighting with the weekly 12 EMA, just like everything else. So progress, but not out of the woods yet. We have a range that's still defined here. URNJ's is a little bit of a wider range, but there's our key level, 23.51. Posted it in Twitter, took an entry once I saw this daily trend change occur. And of course, with the FOMC reaction, which was pretty good to say the least. A futures trader like me was having a field day with the Dow and the Russell today. So regardless of that, so that's the ETFs in a nutshell. They've all confirmed the daily trend change. They're going to need to see some follow through. Yes, there's a little bit of uptick in volume here on URNJ, but you want to start seeing volumes like this again. We want to get back up here into these volumes, okay? Same thing with URNM and URA, a little bit better on the volume side, right? So it's kind of just making the 20-day moving average on the volume. So that's pretty good. All right. So on to some other big board stuff. So CCJ daily, range bound again, same deal, the spike highs and these lows or whatever. CCJ has not confirmed a daily trend change yet. Okay, so it's still rejecting the level. It's these anchored VWAPs it's been holding forever, on this downside. And it's just stuck in this range at the moment, So CCJ still has some work to do. has not even confirmed a daily trend change. Denison has, right? So now we've got a new key level for Denison. And this pig stopped me out right here. 174 was my stop out, and it went to 173. So I got pinched by a penny. That's the name of the game sometimes when trading. It's okay with me, right? So we have a range here as well. So, but daily trend change, good confirmation, decent volume through the 12 EMA, through all the moving averages. As a matter of fact, Denison is closed above its 50-day moving average. It'll be interesting to see who has done that on the big boards for now. I would doubt Encore would. Yeah, Encore. Yeah, I mean it's just this is trading differently. There's a lot less volatility, believe it or not, in Encore. It's grindy. A little bit of an uptick in volume today, fine, but we still have our range with Encore. That was the falling wedge play. I think I called it out. Anybody who saw this call out and followed this, you're still good to go, right? That this entry off this early bottom is still holding, which is a nice sign. But Encore, a little bit different, a little bit of a grinder. Hey, still a weekly bear flag. I'm going to put some fibs on here because I want to see just how. I'll even take it from that peak. Let's see what the fibs are. Yeah, still a daily, weekly bear flag. Just keep that in mind. You know, as good as a day like today was, the past couple of days, really, we haven't really taken out anything key levels to say that things have changed. We're probably going to see that across the space. I will go over Glow, but not right now. I will go over LTBR and Next Gen. Let's see how Next Gen's doing. So Next Gen, uh, daily trend change, lacking some follow through, but still a daily. That's the channel. Let me just hit this. Oh, for God's sakes. Okay, so yeah, this is what happens when you're not prepped. I want this. Okay, so I'm moving this up. That's my alert. I have a parallel channel here. You know, that it's been kind of respecting. Let me just get rid of these fibs. Okay, so that's the deal. Next Gen, daily double bottom, 720. Daily trend change, no follow through. It's through its 50-day moving average. Now, I've been talking about Next Gen a lot, right? Because I like how these moving averages have stacked up again, right? When you see them stack up and it gets above them, it's nice, right? Because let's just look what happened last time, right? When they stack up, when these moving averages stack up, and make no mistake, anybody who makes fun of crayons and moving averages and technical analysis, they're just flat out wrong, okay? There's signals here, right? Stacks up, what a run, right? So, am I saying that's happening again? Look at the stack up and look where the RSI was, right? Look at the stack up and look where the RSI was, right? So it's kind of respecting its historical RSI levels. This is another one that when we pick this bottom, you're still good. And I called these bottoms out to the day, and it was all due to an hourly trend change. But regardless, okay. Any entries that we hear are still good. You know, it's probably going to be the case for a lot of the names, but. So Next Gen is a daily trend change. Let's take a look at the weekly. And, you know, if you look at this, by the way, this parallel channel, you know, it's fighting the midline. And it makes a lot of sense, right? I mean, this is kind of what happens in situations like this. But, you know, it's a little bit of a trend reversal going on here. We like to see it, all right? So on a weekly, no, it is not a weekly bear flag. Of course not. And, you know, this weekly head and shoulders that I've pointed out multiple times here, here. I mean, it's still kind of in play, but this weekly 12 EMA, which is the ultimate guide in the space, in my opinion, it's holding. We like to see it. So, Next Gen still doing well despite whoever says anything about their CEOs, and now their contracts are to be talked about. All right, SMR. So yeah, quite the move, right? Yeah, people are just sitting there, just like, I'm telling you, is that this thing off the bottom? It's a 500% move that SMR did since mid-January. Okay, So it does make some sense that there will be some pullback, and so far it's 60% pullback, right? So what's going on? Well, we're going to be coming into this golden pocket here, and I did post this as well. I said between 4 and 440 seems like an interesting place to try to make a bounce play, right? So there's a lot going on here, even down here, where you could say, all right, well, maybe these are better spots, but we've got some volume shelf here, a little bit here, right? So this is kind of the area, and it's the golden pocket, and it's the 50 EMA right there. So between 4 and 440, I'm probably going to be taking a stab at it, but I won't be sticking around long. I'll figure it out when I get there, if I get there. U.UN daily trend change, and that's a nice little bull flag that's starting to confirm, right? So the falling wedge break, first sign, right? And it turns into a bull flag. Okay. Now it's got a daily trend change, close well above its daily 12 EMA. And it's actually, well, it's still testing this range, but it's there. It's right at the top of the range. So, you know, can we get a pullback tomorrow for continuation? It's possible, but, got a nice little daily bear flag working here, bull flag working here. Weekly, yet again, is still a bear flag. So this is what happens with nested time frames, right? And so this is a perfect example of it, right? A lot of weekly bear flags, but a lot of daily bull flags with daily trend changes, right? And those are early signs, right? The earliest sign was the hourly trend change that I pointed out a long time ago. But regardless of any of that, we still have to deal with this weekly 12 EMA. And as you know, it's the metric for the space, so it's a big one, right? So if we need to get over that, and then we need to negate this bear flag as well. I'm going fast, so I'm not going to stick around and do fibs and all that. UEC has been just a chunky little grinder, and it has not been volatile. It hasn't really been moving much, and it's still very much range bound. Um, not there's not even a look of a daily trend change here yet, right? So here's your low, and this is basically the high. This is nothing here, right? So this is just chop. So UEC is, it's behaving differently, strangely enough, and it's usually a stronger name. So, um, maybe there's something news-wise that we don't know about yet, because it's a little bit different. I have to admit, it's a little bit different, but it's good sign. It's following the movement of the space, but there's other names that are just far outperforming it right now, right? So weekly bear flag, weekly 12 EMA rejection, same deal, right? URG, this little guy, another one that picked my stop off, right? So that's the weekly. URG, very similar kind of looking to UEC. So there is no, I mean, some might call this a little bit of a pivot. I do not. I'm still looking at this as all one move. So I need to see. I need to see this type of action from URG. Hold these lows. Maybe start making its way up. Let's get a daily trend change. Okay. So none of this, in my opinion, is a daily trend change. I just kind of look at this as all one move. And that's all I got to say about that. So, yeah, URG and UEC kind of have some similarities. So if we see a behavior change, in UEC, for example, well, then I'm going to look to URG to see if it kind of changes behavior the way that UEC does, right? So this is how you do correlations intrasector, right? So, and vice versa. If URG starts looking like it's, starting to bounce and make some pivots instead of this grind that UEC and URG have been doing, then I'm going to start to look at UEC and see what it's doing. So they could be signals because they're similar looking charts. URG is actually a little worse because it broke this range down. But whatever. It's grinding. So for it's just they've been similar in my opinion, in the last couple weeks, couple months. Uranium royalty, another dog, right? So, did I talk about the URG weekly? Let's just look at it because I'm not sure if I did. Yeah, bear flag, weekly downtrend still continued. This is a lot of work to change the weekly trend, and it's much further away from the 12 EMA like other names. So URG is, maybe view it as a laggard play. So if the whole space keeps moving up and this is still lagging, that could be the opportunity there on the laggard. What are we looking at? Uranium royalty, again, another daily wedge with a break and then sideways and then continuation down. So uranium royalty does trade differently. We all know that. Not my favorite name. Every once in a while I'll get a pop, but again, looks like URG. Looks a lot like URG, right? So very similar looking charts, right? So maybe this is the laggard on URG. You can start looking at those things when you want to start picking things off. Okay, but daily 12 EMA, still the resistance guide. Continuation of the daily downtrend, not even anywhere near oversold conditions, because this is what happens with this type of stuff. It just grinds everybody out. Weekly, horrible looking, really. Got some wicks here, so there is some buying pressure making its way into the game, but still problematic, right? So weak, 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 weak. 4Us, everybody hates this name, so do I. Same deal, right? The weekly is still kind of crappy. Yeah, you could say there's a trend change here, right? So this is a higher low now. So key level starts to be a key level. Now, I've spoken about UUU and how I do take a little bit of a different look, and when I'm going to do the fuel service guys in a separate video, but these orange boxes are value areas, and they've been the value area for the life of the stock, right? So if you go all the way back to this stock, these are value areas, and really what's going on is starting to create another one in here, starting to really be the value area. But I've got these things delineated here, and I'm going to keep it the way it is. But you can see even in the middle, look at all the action in the middle of this box. So, fine to see it hold, honestly. I know that a lot of people don't like the name. Quite honestly, either do I. But the daily has confirmed a trend change. The daily trend change has gotten follow through. Not as strong as others, right? So next gen, I think, is through the 50-day already, right? Yeah, you know. So when a sector flips like this, and uranium does it, the move. You shouldn't be looking at the laggards. You should be looking at the strength. That's all I'm saying, right? So anything that's above its 50-day moving average, it has some volume, or it's trading at or near its all-time highs. Hint, hint, hint. Those are the ones that I'm going for, because strength begets strength, right? So I'll look to UUUU as a laggard play, perhaps if the sector keeps rolling. But I'm much more interested in next gen and UEC, because at least they have liquidity and option chains. All right, so that's the deal on this extended video. It's a quickie look. I'll go deeper. I'm going to do glow now, and I'm going to do the fuel service providers. So over and out.